Hey there, it's Melissa. Whew, this is a lot of work here at this homestead. We are doing a lot of construction and a lot of cleanup, and it's you know, getting to be the second week of May, and we don't have things planted yet, and I just can't help feeling that we're falling behind in the season. But in all honesty, I know we're really being ambitious with our plans, putting in retaining walls and driveways and terracing this garden and all the other things we're working on. So I think overall, for being here just under 9 months, 8.5 months, we've gotten a lot accomplished, and Peter has worked tirelessly on this property, shaping it and molding it and getting it to be that vision that he has. But there are some days where at the end of the day we just sit down on the couch and we just look at each other and we say, are we doing the right thing? This is a lot of work. This is a lot of money. This is a lot of time. Is this what we're supposed to be doing? Is this the right choice to be making in life? And so then we start to circle around and look at, why are we doing this? And every time we do that, we talk about, well, the world's rapidly changing, and being self-sufficient is a really good idea. So yes, that's good. Growing your own food so that you know that it's healthy and you know what's in it. Well, that's good. Raising our kids to learn these life skills and grow up in this environment so they can be hardworking and just get to enjoy this life growing up with the animals. That's good. Spending as much time as we do together, being me staying home with the kids and homeschooling them, Peter being blessed to be able to work from the house. We spend a lot of family time together working on this homestead, and that's definitely good. Also, just the blessing it is to be able to work the land and raise animals and just have that closeness with nature the way that God intended it when he put Adam and Eve in a garden and said, this is your job. Is definitely a part of us, and there's a lot of joy and fulfillment that comes from working a homestead. So we go through all these reasons and we circle around to, yes, this is what we want to do. Yes, this is a good choice. It's a worthwhile choice. And all of the work we're doing right now to lay the groundwork for the future is necessary, and we just need to push on through. So that has been today. Peter has over here behind me, there's a decent sized burn pile. We've been working on tackling those trees that have been that were cleared from our property and have just been laying in huge piles. So Peter rented a wood chipper for some of it. He bought a log splitter so we could get some good firewood. But we were getting to the point where we want the wood gone, and so burn piles. So this is our first burn pile. Hopefully that will help the piles to disappear faster, because things like the burn piles and also these retaining walls, this one is one that Peter's building, and this one down behind me, I'm kind of on the back side of it here, we hired someone to do that one. These retaining walls and these burn piles are kind of keeping us from moving on to the next step, which is preparing the ground for planting. I have lots and lots of plants. I have plants in the quail building that we use with the grow lights set up, and they're getting ready to go outside. I also have lots of plants in my kitchen that just look out the window all day, and it reminds me of a child saying, Mom, can I go outside to play? And I'm saying, no, not yet. I don't have a place for you yet. And it brings up a little bit of anxiety in me because I feel like I'm racing the seasons here. We're moving into the second week of May, and our ground isn't ready for planting. And I'm coming to terms with the fact that we might not get to plant all the things that we want to plant this year, being our first year here. The first year of homesteading is definitely a challenge, especially if you're making the homestead your first year. Our first house that we lived in Tennessee, it was great. It already had a barn. It had a great place to put our chickens. All we had to do was kind of establish a garden area. So there was a lot already done for us. Our second house had the huge barn, and all we had to do was establish the garden. So being that this was 5 acres of woods when we moved in, there's a lot of work to do to get it to that point where it's actually can be used as a homestead. So we know that. I know that. So all of this that we're doing right now, the mud and the block and the gravel and the renting the machine to do all of this is working towards that lush green garden and all the things that we're hoping to accomplish here. It just doesn't look like it right now, but we know that this is the first step. There has been definitely some roadblocks and some different things, and we know that just because you make a plan, basically plans never go as they're supposed to. Nothing ever follows the plan. You make a rough plan and then you see what happens. So, we rent a machine. We've been renting skid steers so that Peter could do work around here, and then we get these big rainstorms and we don't get it done in time and we have to re-rent the machine. Or the barns that we were trying to that we had ordered, well, they promised that they'd be delivered on this day, and they can't do it until 2 months later. And just working with all the little hiccups that come, and an animal gets sick or whatever. There's lots of little things that pop up here and there every day when you're doing homesteading. But we're just persevering through that and keeping our eye on the prize, which is hopefully coming soon. We'll be able to feel some of the and to be able to reap some of the benefits of all the work we're doing. It is difficult to do all this work and with the animals and I've planted so many seeds and working with the ground so much, yet still all of our food, well, except eggs, we have a lot of eggs, all of our food is still coming from the grocery store. But we know that one day we will go out to our yard to bring in food for our house, and that will be an exciting day, and hopefully in the near future. So on days like this, when it's beautiful and you feel like, yes, a good day's work was done today and we made good progress today, these days are great. And every day is not like this. So on days like this, we just are thankful and we see we're pushing a little bit more forward. And I know if any of you have done this before, maybe you've built a house, maybe you've put in a new garden, sometimes the project itself becomes so overwhelming that you wonder, is it ever going to be done? Or is this really what we should be doing? Well, then you sit down and you reevaluate and you just come back around to, yes, this is it. This is what we're doing. This is Honey Acres Homestead. This is one day going to be a place that provides food for our family, hopefully a place where we can have people come and enjoy what we've built here, and a great place to raise our children as we seek to be self-sufficient, yet fully relying on the Lord. As I find myself talking and thinking so much about the future and longing for projects to be completed and plants to be planted and things to just come together with all these things we're working on here on the homestead, I just get convicted because I don't want to be living for the future. The Bible tells us so many times that we're not guaranteed tomorrow. We know that we have today, and today there's always things to be thankful for. There's blessings all around us. Children grow quickly, seasons pass quickly, our life is a vapor. So today, I want to be focused on today. It's good to have a vision. It's good to have plans. It's good to have dreams, something to work towards, or else we would just be stagnant. We wouldn't accomplish anything. But at the same time, we need to be paying attention to the present, to the people who are in our lives today, to the good things that God has given us to do today with our lives, and to all the blessings that He's given us right now. So as I find myself sometimes impatiently looking forward to those times when we're done with these projects and the homestead is coming together and we have things that we're growing and it's beautiful and not quite as much like a muddy construction site. As I think about those times ahead, I do not want to forget about right now. I want to find the joy in the moment. I want to enjoy the time with my children and with my husband. And I want to thank God for how much He's richly blessing us here and now. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.